So we're getting a lot more wind than what was forecast. Some pretty strong gusts coming through, and it's coming at the wrong direction. So rather than completely abandon plan, we're gonna head out and see what it's like out there, because it could be locally just coming in here. We've got 3 options now. Sardinia is the ideal, Corsica, or back to mainland France, Marseille. So we'll see what happens. Or if it's nasty out there, we just come back to the Enquiries we were in last time. So we got options, we got options.
We're leaving at 6 p.m. and heading into our unknown future.
Do you think? Yeah, a bit more.
Mark's hair is an indicator of how big the wind is. 7 knots hair.
Doing 5.5 knots. I've got the engine ticking over because we're going through a narrow channel. Yoshino. And if you can just keep lookout for any boats.
Where we're heading now?
So we're heading to mainland France at the moment. The swell's coming at a strange angle, and we're absolutely steaming.
Lots of white horses.
Yeah, we'll be in France we'll be in France tomorrow evening.
What speed?
6.6.
So Yan is doing first watch, and I'm doing a second watch, but I had a motion sickness pill with caffeine, so I'm staying up. And Mark just went to sleep because he's getting up at 3 a.m. And currently we're heading back to Port St. Louis. The California hotel is calling. I think the wind is going to change to our favorite direction, and we're going to manage to go to North Sardinia or South Corsica. And it's such a beautiful sunset.
So I couldn't sleep. It's rolly, but I don't know, it feels a bit better now. We're steaming along. We saw a swordfish before pop out of the sea, smashed its head on the surface. But yeah, everything's going well.
So this is my first time doing night shift just by myself. It's actually really fun and peaceful. I mean, I'm completely alone in this whole pitch black, but at the same time I'm totally not alone. There are millions of stars up there, and then millions of I don't know what kind of sea creature down there. Because of the seasickness pill, which is a good one, I do not feel drowsy, and I do not feel any of the seasickness. And I am a little bit impressed of myself how I got through with last 3 years of sailing with seasickness. Now we're going 4.6 knots, pretty constant wind and close hull, a little bit close hull, everything is very, very good.
I managed to get about half an hour's sleep, which just refreshed me massively. We're pointing at about 60 degrees, which is pretty close hold for us, but we're actually on course for Corsica, so we're doing well. Just keeping a lookout because there is a boat on the horizon. Hopefully it'll pass behind us. This is when you need AIS really. We're in a situation now which I like to call when the wind and the swell are friends. The swell is completely made by the wind. I might be going a bit crazy. The wind and the swell are in tune. There's no excess swell for wind, so hopefully it stays this way. I'm going to finish my watch in a minute and then Jan's going to come on and the sun should be coming up pretty soon. All good. So finished my watch. Now you can see why it's difficult to sleep in here. We've got the jib sheet which is making a terrible noise and some of this dodgy cabinetry which is also very creaky because obviously the boat does flex. All boats flex. This one flexes. Creates all sorts of horrible noises.
Tuck in style, tucking socks, tucking shirts. Mark potentially might have caught a fish with a piece of rope.
What is it? What is it? It could be trash. It could be a fish. This will make my life if it's a fish.
Does it feel heavy? Yoshi, down.
No. Back.
Down. Good boy. It's seaweed.
Oh no, is it?
What is it?
Oh, it's a fish. It's a fish. It's a fish.
Whoa.
Oh my god. Wow! Jan, check this out. Oh.
Is it a barracuda?
Whoa! It's a swordfish. Whoa!
Whoa! Oh my gosh! We got a fish!
Yes! Look at it, Yoshi.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It looks so scary! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! That's insane! Oh my gosh! It looks like a dolphin.
Oh, it's a swordfish. Can you eat this?
Yeah, of course. It's very good. Oh, and cook. It's a big one.
Oh my gosh! It looks so crazy! Wow!
So much fish.
It's huge.
So, under Jan's instruction, managed to fillet the fish. We don't usually fillet fish, but we filleted this one. And look at this. Hey, two massive fillets. Oh, and also some sashimi.
一望无际的大海 ，endless sea. Half of the way. He knows where is the most comfortable spot. Jan is our new French blue ribbon chef on board, having fresh sashimis tonight.
Tartare
Tartare. Oh.
and sashimi.
Wow.
But I already taste the sashimi.
Yeah. It's good.
Ah,
Nice. Awesome. Can't wait.
30 minutes after the fishing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice. So lucky to have someone to make amazing food. The seasickness pill works, but I still can't mess around down there too much. I don't know. I'm just so sensitive to motion, I guess. But it's very, very nice to be able to enjoy the sailing properly. And so Mark can relax. Now he's only slept 3 hours and he came up and he said, oh, I feel like I slept 8 hours straight. And now he went back to try to go back to sleep before my shift finish.
Jan's made swordfish tartare and we're gonna eat it with tortilla wraps. And it looks delicious. Nadiana's here enjoying her tortilla.
It's so delicious.
Yeah? Good?
Thanks, Jan.
Sleeping Jan's just had his shift. I've had 3 hours sleep. I feel like I've slept
No.
10 hours.
He had his shift and he made us this meal.
Yeah, Jan's been cooking for us. He's a beast. So we've got my sashimi there. 1, 2. They're just frozen peas. But we've got bags. Bags of fish. Hopefully it'll stay fresh. So at this point we've done about 25 hours and we've done about 120 miles. So an average speed of about 4.8, 4.9. The wind's slowed down now. I think pretty much to its slowest, and I'm hoping that it doesn't die down. Because we don't have any internet, no connection, and we haven't had since we left. So we can't check the weather if it's improved or whether it's deteriorated. What I do is I actually download a video of a screen recording of windy and just play it, and then I just refer to that. I feel like I might have miscalculated potentially. We might have set off a little bit too early. Not sure. Hopefully not. The main problem and the reason why I feel like we set off early is that we just couldn't sail Minky into the wind enough to get the right tack to Sardinia or really Corsica. So we went north a lot, and it's really difficult going east with a southeast wind. So that wind should back tomorrow afternoon. So in another like 15 or 16 hours. And there is also a big patch of calm in the forecast as well. So hopefully we won't get trapped in that. There's nothing worse than flapping about, especially in the middle of night. Although sailing last night in the middle of the night was just absolutely beautiful, averaging 5 knots, and it's just so good. In a way it's really nice that the wind's calmed down, because while we were catching that fish, and up until then it was constant kind of 15, 16, 17 knots. With full sail, you're always getting to the point, you know, is it going to go past 20? You know, you're going to have to put a reef in, and you're always having to think about it. At least now you can relax. All the slamming on the hull has now disappeared, and we can just relax. Yoshi's doing really well. He's done a pee-pee. Nadiana took him to the front of the boat. He's done a pee-pee on the stay. That's all been wiped up, and he's much more chill with the sea.
Does the whales sleep at night?
Do whales sleep at night? I don't think they sleep, you know. I think they go into like the trance state that you go into when you're doing a crossing. Cool life. Nadiana has been the highlight of this trip. She's not been seasick. She's been enjoying every minute. She's been great company. Yeah, lots of waffle. Hopefully I cut that down into something more manageable.
Talk in style with most loved Granny's flipper. A gift from Granny at Christmas.
You look like a b-boy 90s outdoors chick, strange person. I know, it's so romantic, isn't it? So romantic. So it was quite a quiet night on Nadiana and Jan's shift. I think they were doing between 2 and 3.
Pretty much all around 1 and 2.
Between 1 and 2, okay. So we've fallen behind a lot, but we've picked up some wind now. We are still getting pushed up north a little bit, and a lot of the time we're heading towards Calvi, which is on the north coast of Corsica. We've absolutely no rush to get to land because we've got food, we've got a bit of wind now. The only good thing we worry about is little Yoshi because he needs a poo, probably needs a poo. He's done a couple of wheeze, one on the trampoline at the front, which is perfect, one in our toilet, which 2 in the toilet. So,
Which is not bad as well.
I mean, you can forgive him, can't you, for that?
Of course.
He doesn't do it any other time. Yeah, well, we're steaming along nicely at what, 4.5 to 5 knots, something like 80 miles to go. Depending on which way we can point. If the wind swings around, that'll be absolutely beautiful. Then we won't be close hauled, because we've been close hauled for the last like 40 hours, something like that. Yeah. Alright. Let's hope this wind picks up, or just stays as it is, that's fine. How's it going, B-girl?
Bigger changed his trousers and socks, but still wearing the cool sandal. Just did my math. So if we're going around 5, then it's 13 hours, but around 4, that would be 20 hours. So even making a tiny bit of progress, it's a big giant difference in a wild sea. Just then we saw a turtle, and I don't know what Neptune is trying to say. Everyone else crossing big oceans, seas, whales, dolphins, and etc. And we saw a turtle in the Mediterranean. At least we sailed past it, and it lifted up one arm to say hi.
It happened, the wind died. Gonna stick the motor on, hopefully we'll find some more wind. There might be some local stuff as we get closer. We're about 60 miles off. That's motor, I think. And then maybe some magical breezes will come in. So, it's getting dark again. We're heading into Corsica. We're probably about 50 miles, 40 odd miles away. And I've dug out the old almanac. They give you all tide tables for the year, so that's all useless. Half of that book is useless. But there's loads of safety information, and also something that I didn't know is the flashing lights for the buoys. So as we're coming into Corsica at night, I'm going to check out a few buoys and flashing stuff and see if I can recognise it. Usually you see flashing, GP flashing, so, but I never understood what those little abbreviations were. But there you go, so that's going to be interesting.
So now we're sailing with 1.5 knots. 1.7 towards North Corsica, a bit upper from Ajaccio, our destination. We didn't want to, well, mainly me, I didn't want to use the engine. Everyone enjoys the peace.
Yeah, there's no rush.
The only worry is little Yoshi. But he used to poo on the trampoline, so I think if he absolutely needed it, he would do it.
Yeah.
And if not, when we motor, it will be less than 6 hours there.
Yeah. So there has been a little bit of wind, a little bit. We're doing 3 knots. So happy that the engine's not on. I didn't film anything, but that oil leak from the timing gear casing, I could see it dripping, and we were losing quite a lot of oil. So I was quite happy that Nadiana decided to turn the engine on. We've been sailing between 1 knots and 3 knots, and there was a massive ship there, which we were on a collision course. I wasn't quite sure what to do, but just decided to line up the red lights, and we passed nicely, but potential collision course there, because I don't know whether they see these big ships, but absolutely really want to get an AIS system. Anyway, glad that's over. No more ships on the horizon. That's why we keep watch. But yes, 3rd night at sea. This is taking a long time, but who cares? It's so comfortable. Between 2 and 3 knots now. And should be there tomorrow at some point.
Yeah. Maybe full, I don't know. Maybe there is a baby on this one. It's all family.
We have 13.5 knots of wind and sailing at 5.8 knots.
No way.
Oh my god! It's awesome. This is the perfect sail. And we've only motored for less than 5 hours out of 200 something nautical miles.
Overall, it's probably been like 260 miles or something.
Yeah, because we were heading north and then heading north and coming back. We're just like using the maximum of the possibility of wind.
Yeah.
But it feels good.
So it's been 60 hours since we've had a weather forecast, and we're still using the forecast from 4 days ago. So far it's actually been pretty accurate. I'm trying to get some data on my phone so I can get an update, because it'd be a shame if some massive storm came through. This wind's picking up nicely, something like 15 knots. Quite the breeze coming into Corsica, 30 miles off. Jib's flapping a bit.
Can you see the layers of mountains? It's so grand.
Without you, and so it goes. Can you imagine how?
So close now. My only worry is that I've chosen a really swelly anchorage, because we've been broad reaching downwind in here and it could be a little bit open. hopefully tucked around that corner is a very calm little bay. If it is, oh, so happy, so happy. Congratulations, Jan. We made it alive. What an epic sail.
Yes.
Congratulations, Joshi. You legend. Nadiana's still not finished. How you feeling, buddy?
Well accomplished.
Wow, the feeling of accomplishment is so great.
Yeah, this is such a perfect sail. We got a huge fish, which we never got, and we saw whale, which we never saw. We even saw turtles, which it's rare to see in Mediterranean. And we sailed the whole way, and I've not been seasick, so I'm gonna not talk anymore. I'm gonna relieve this little hero. And it's hot here. It's hotter than
really hot.
Mallorca. Come on, Yoshi. Come on. We're going for walking.
Thanks very much for watching this week's video. We hope the wind noise and the shakiness of the footage wasn't too annoying. It was such an amazing trip. We all four of us enjoyed it. I'm not sure if Yoshi truly enjoyed it, but it was alright. Just want to say a massive thanks to everyone who's been to our coffee and PayPal. Your names have been showing up. Thank you so much for visiting the links in the description of this video, and thank you to everyone who watches the videos, who watches the adverts, or even if you skip past the adverts, that's okay. And if you leave us a like, that's massively appreciated. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It's completely free. And next week we explore more of this amazing land, Corsica, and head down towards Sardinia.